Robinson Kigen still is with me here in studio. Robinson, I'd like us to talk about the motive of the IEBC, because the Constitution really is quite clear on how the process should be like. But then, someone would ask, what is the motive of IEBC, trying to overturn this ruling by the High Court?
What has triggered all these issues, the litigation before the Court of Appeal now, is the amendments which Parliament sought to introduce to the Elections Act. Those amendments were to the effect that the results of the presidential election could be provisional, and the final declaration can be made at the National Tallying Center. To me, that goes against the spirit of the Constitution. For instance, under Article 138(3)(c), the declaration of the presidential results actually happens at the polling station, so that once the counting of votes has been done, verification has also happened, then the IEBC, through its officers, can declare the result. So that even if those results are now transmitted to the constituency tallying center, I've seen the arguments that there'll be so many declarations.
Yes.
There is nothing wrong with so many declarations, because it doesn't refer to the same area. These are different constituencies. So that the role of the chairman now of the IBC, who is the chief returning officer with respect to the presidential elections, will be to collect and collate all these results and now declare whom the winner is. With respect to the provisions of the Constitution.
All right.
And in any event, the principles, what are the principles of a good electoral process? One of them is a free and fair process, which is prompt and efficient, so that if the results are already announced at the polling station in a prompt way, Kenyans would have more confidence in such results than if you await to announce them at the National Tallying Center. Okay. Yes.
I'll ask you a question that I asked Nelson Harvey a few moments ago, and I was asking him, what is the process then, according to IBC, what is the process that they deem fit? All right, fine, people have come, voters have voted, and you have the counting that is already done. So from there, what is it that they want to happen?
Maybe the biggest concern for the IBC is that the returning officers at the constituency level may make an error. So that if you say that that announcement is final, you will actually be curtailing the constitutional rights of the chair of the commission to announce results which are accurate. So I think...
But don't you have the people agents from the different parties?
They do have.
It's not just one person who's coming out to say something from somewhere. These are people who've sat down and they've all agreed that these are the results. Such a person has gotten 300 votes from here. There's no other way to go about it.
Yes. Yeah. So I think what should happen is to have credible officers, the constituency levels, at the polling centers, to avoid a situation where they could, because if they do not have confidence in those officers at that level, then
who belong to the IBC,
who belong to the IBC, then they have no business being there.
Right.
And in any event, this is an interesting issue because the Supreme Court has already pronounced itself on the matter. These issues, I've also had the arguments before the Court of Appeal that the High Court did not have jurisdiction to handle the matter. Far from it. Because the question before the court was testing the amendments to the Elections Act vis-a-vis the provision of the Constitution, the provision of the regulations under the Elections Act vis-a-vis the provisions of the Constitution.
All right.
And the High Court properly has had powers to handle the matter.
All right.
The matter can as well go all the way up to the Supreme Court. And as far as I'm concerned, in the case of Joe, during the last elections, and the case of the Mathare MP, those issues have been tested, and the court has declared that once the declarations have been made, then the IEBC or the officers becomes functus official. They cannot reopen the matter. You remember in that case of the Mathare MP, the announcement was made, and the IEBC realized that it had made a mistake. It cancelled the certificate already issued, and the matter went all the way to the Court of Appeal. It went all the way to the Supreme Court, And the court actually was of the view that once the announcement is made, that should be final. So the advice I would give to the IEBC is to ensure that it hires credible officers.
Yeah, it starts from the basics.
It starts from the basics.
As that.
Yeah.
All right, let's look at the reasons why, what informed really Maina Kiai and his team to go after this case and pursue, some of these issues that we're seeing arise.
First and foremost, it's a question of constitutional test to the provisions. What triggered all that, as I had said before, is the amendments to the Elections Act.
Okay.
Yeah, that is what actually made them to rush to the court, where they were introducing element of results being provisional. Because it could actually be a recipe for chaos, because you can imagine a situation where the results which have been announced across the country, just by a stroke of a pen, can be altered at the National Tallying Center.
Right. And that really takes us back to what was happening in 2007. And, that was really one of the issues that, came about. And let's talk about that issue of this provisional results. So is IBC saying that once these results have been announced at the polling stations or constituency level, they remain provisional. They are subject to change. They are subject to some sort or some form of altering when it gets to the IEBC or to the commission.
Yes, the intentions of the IEBC could be good.
How?
They might actually want to ensure, because it's their role to oversee a process that is transparent, that is free and fair. What of a situation where they know for sure? You can remember way back when Kivuitu was the commission, for the Electoral Commission chair. At some point, he actually indicated that he was unable to reach the returning officers,
yes,
that the figures were being cooked. And at that point, if they had powers to alter the results upon verification, that could have been good. It was in the interest of everyone that credible results are given. So the motive might be good, but the provisions of the Constitution say otherwise.
All right.
If Article 138 talks about the results being counted, verified, and results being declared at the polling station, which should not be altered, then I do not actually, without preempting the decision of the Court of Appeal, as I've already told you, that the matter has been tested at the Supreme Court.
All right.
So I do not expect any departure at all.
Any departure.
Yeah.
But that exactly brings me to my next question, because are we likely to see this, if it doesn't go the IEBC way, are we likely to see them head on to the Supreme Court? Is it something that they look like they will fight to the nail?
It's their right. They have every right to have that case move from High Court to the Court of Appeal to the Supreme Court, so that even if they go, they are freely exercising their right of appeal. Yeah.
And, talking about the days to the elections, just 63. Right now, they're dealing also with a situation where they want as many Kenyans as possible to believe in them and to have faith that, they will deliver a credible exercise. So are we really likely to see them, want to challenge this to the, apex of the judiciary, which is the High Court? With it, Supreme Court, I beg your pardon.
If time permits them, they might
do
do that.
Okay.
And even if a decision is made a day to the election, it will be binding. It will be a decision of the court.
All right.
Yeah.
Wow. Thank you very much, Robinson Kigen, there speaking to us on this matter that is before the Court of Appeal today. He is a lawyer. Thank you very much for your insights.
Welcome.
All right. So we will take a break right now here on the show. We'll be coming back in a few minutes, so don't go away. News Center continues.